Hi, everyone. This is Nasia DuPont from Les Maisons Partner, and I am here with Vaughn Hill today. Hi, Vaughn.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well. Unfortunately, Kristen could not make it. Oh man, she's on every one of our recordings, but we are really excited to talk to Vaughn because not only does he have huge amounts of experience, but he also on a personal note, did my own personal home inspection. So I know for sure he knows what he's talking about.
Well, thank you.
So, Vaughn, why don't you tell everybody exactly what you do and who you are, and so that people get to know you a little.
Okay, well, first of all, like you said, I'm Vaughn Hill. I'm a home inspector, certified home inspector, and I'll get to that in a minute. I've actually been doing home inspections. Actually, this is going to be my fourth year coming up in August. So I've been doing home inspections for about 4 years now. I actually got into home inspecting from a real estate agent. She's the one who actually told me about it. I was actually in construction, things of that nature. And then unfortunately, I had to leave the construction industry for unseen circumstances. But like I said, I was working with an agent at the time, and she basically told me about home inspecting. I looked into it, said, this is something that I would like to do, things of that nature. So I just basically took a lot of educational classes and things like that, got myself certified from an accredited ASHI certification, and basically just kind of went from there, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people who are in home inspection do have a sort of like, construction background or some kind of background, which
Yes,
lends itself to really being knowledgeable about
yes,
homes as well. So, I mean, that I think is an important part when you're selecting the home inspector as well.
yes.
Um, One of the biggest things that we have as buyers is when our buyers ask us, they'll say, well, why do I need a home inspection necessarily? Is it required by law? Why do I need to pay for this? So, if you could talk a little bit about that, because we always tell our buyers that they need a home inspection, that we
Gotcha.
really suggest they get a home inspection.
Yeah, well, the thing is, as far as a home inspection is concerned in Georgia, okay, they're not required, but I highly recommend them, okay? Basically, a home inspection is a non-invasive status of the property and its systems, like your plumbing, heating, electrical, and things like that at the time of the inspection so that you know what's going on with the house. A lot of potential sellers, they don't put everything into the disclosure. They don't tell you about everything. And sometimes it's hard to kind of uncover some of the things that you see when you do view the house physically. So it's always best to get a certified home inspector, so that way they can actually act on your behalf and give you, like I said, a status of that property at that day and time to let you know what's going on with it.
You're going to tell us a little bit about what the difference is between a certified, not certified. I'm assuming it's
Yes.
always better to get a certified.
Yes, you always want to have somebody who is certified. Yeah, you can get a contractor, but a contractor isn't bound by anything. And what I mean by that, someone who is certified has gone to basically an accredited certification schooling that says, okay, you're required to check a certain amount of number of windows. You're required to actually give the condition of the roof. You're required to give the status and things of that nature of the appliances. A contractor isn't bound by anything. He can just very well come to the house, take a look around everything, say, yeah, you're good to go, you're fine, not test anything. And that will be totally fine because, like I said, he's not bound by anything. But we follow, people who are certified actually follow what we call standards of practice that are actually passed down by our organization. And like I said, basically, they tell us, okay, we have to follow a certain amount of rules, or we have to check a certain amount of things during that home inspection, things of that nature. So that's the big difference between having a certified home inspector and a non-certified home inspector.
Okay, so say somebody does have a home inspection, they contact you, we're ready to
Mhm.
do our home inspection.
Yes.
What are the next steps that you're going to go through in order to actually conduct the home inspection? If you could talk a little bit about how buyers communicate with you and your company? And then what's that next step? Once you're now saying, yes, we're going to do the home inspection, what do you actually do during that home inspection?
Well, typically during the home inspection, it's basically a detailed inspection. I typically like to have people with me so that way I can kind of show them around. But for the most part, basically, with the home inspection, you're actually going to be looking at the status and the condition of your house as far as like the siding, the roof. The home inspector may take you around and show you where some of your main shutoffs are for your heating, water, and electrical. Those are actually very important in case you come into any type of issues and you need to know where your emergency shutoffs are and things of that nature. And he or she can actually point out any type of structural issues right then and there on site. So typically, when people attend the home inspection, I actually like to go over the first three things, the first three S's, I'm sorry. And basically what that is safety, structure, and your system. Okay, so I'll basically go over your structure first, which is your foundation and your attic. We'll get that checked out, and then any type of safety issue, whether it be cracks in the driveway or any type of electrical issues that could cause some shock to some people. And then after that, then we'll take a look at your systems like your plumbing, electrical, and things of that nature. And then after that, then we'll do all the cosmetic stuff at the end.
So what should people actually be looking for? What do you think are some of the main issues or challenges that people are looking for? Because I know we get the reports, we're used to them, and we'll get a report and somebody will say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of stuff, or oh, I didn't know this. And we try to explain to people that some of the things that are on the report are not things that are emergencies at the time. So help us get some perspective as to how the report is kind of arranged, so people as prospective buyers can kind of understand what that report entails, and that not everything is something that's an emergency.
Well, typically, once you get the report, all of the main issues are actually going to be located at the top, okay, of the report. All right. So the first section that you come to is going to be your exterior. So once you read your exterior section, any major issues that went on the outside are actually going to be at the top of the report. And any type of safety concerns will have basically like the Red Cross icon around the picture, so that way you'll know exactly what's going on as far as it having to be a safety issue and things like that. And then if it's a huge concern, then you're actually going to see a dollar sign by it. And those are typically like your structural concerns and things of that nature. And if you need a new roof, replacing your HVAC system and things like that. So typically when you look at the report, you want to kind of be mindful and aware of those. And once again, that's why I do the S's, to be quite honest with you, because basically when you look at your systems, like your electrical, water heater, furnace, and things like that. Then you look at your safety concerns and your structure. Those are basically the main three things that people should be concerned about. And now the reason why I say that is because, sometimes you get some new home buyers, who really just don't know exactly what to look for, or what type of questions to ask and things like that. So that's why I kind of help them out, kind of guide them and things like that, as far as what to look for, how to read the report and things of that nature.
Yeah, I think that that's especially helpful because people honestly do have a lot of questions. So a lot of, and you're one of those home inspectors. We've had a lot of different home inspectors who are willing to answer questions after the fact
Oh,
too. So that is especially helpful, and I think that a lot of people don't know that they can ask a question after.
yes, yes. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, it just doesn't stop at the home inspection. And when you go home and you read the report, because sometimes the report will have some technical jargon, some field jargon that's in there that you may not understand, or that we may not have had a chance to go over during the home inspection and things like that. So if you do have any questions or anything like that, Always call your home inspector or give me a call.
That's right. So explain to everyone a little bit about what are some of the components of a typical home inspection and what are some add-ons? Because I know that not everybody gets a radon test, for instance.
Right, correct, exactly. So your typical home inspection is just going to be just that. It's just going to be the status of the home and basically the system components that are attached to it. When you have other services like your radon and mold and things like that, typically those are extra services. Okay, and what I mean by that is if you suspect that you may possibly have mold growing in your house, but just not sure, that's something that you want to go ahead and try to actually do with the home inspection. Some people actually do a one-off and they'll actually just get a mold inspection and things like that if they detect that they have mold in their house and just want to be sure. But typically with a home inspection, we want to make sure that you're covering all your bases. So it's actually a good idea to actually get that included as well, to be quite honest with you. And not only that, we're actually located in Georgia. So buying a home in Georgia is a little different, to be quite honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because we have high levels of radon. Our national average of radon levels are a lot higher than any other states. And the reason being is because we have the Appalachian Mountain and then the Stone Mountain, and then Atlanta is basically sandwiched in between. So a lot of that radon comes from uranium, which comes from Stone Mountain and the Appalachian Mountain, and it comes from the earth, comes from the ground. It's actually a gas, to be quite honest with you. So it's actually a good idea to get that tested as well. And for the most part, there's no one area that has it worse than the other. You could be in Mableton and have it bad. You know, you could be in Decatur and you'd be fine. It just depends on where most of that uranium and most of the radon gases are expelling, to be quite honest with you. So, like I said, it's always a good idea to get that as well.
Okay. So it seems as if it's not as scary as some people
No.
thought, because we always are very, very transparent with any of our clients and telling them that a home inspection is something that's a tool. And
Exactly.
so we use that to help inform our decisions. So usually what happens is once you have made an offer, you've got a signed contract, we then move into due diligence period, which is that period of time where you can get a home inspection.
Mhm.
Once it's in the contract, you can get a home inspection, and then you could talk a little bit about whether or not there are any repairs that you want to have made by the seller, and then the negotiation starts from that point.
Correct.
However, that's where you come in, and we always are very, very specific with our clients. You guys are very, very speedy when it comes to this stuff. Due diligence period, during the due diligence period, it's important that you meet the timelines and the goals. So that's another thing. Once the buyer starts talking to you, I think that it's really important that they make sure that everybody's informed as to when that timeline is, and kind of when we have how much time we have. So what's your typical turnaround time with your reports from the inspection?
Now, the turnaround time for the reports is actually same day. Now, let me break that down to you, okay? Because everybody has their own definition of what same day is, okay? Same day means that you will get the report before 12 a.m. because technically speaking, that is in that same day. And things of that nature, because people have to understand once I take the pictures on site, okay, now I have to get back to my office, get those pictures downloaded onto my laptop, and put the language to the picture and get it all nice and neat and send it out in the report for you. So that does take some time as well. So that's why we actually have that same day. Now, the reason another reason why we have the same day is because pretty much just like you said, with the due diligence time, for whatever the reason, some people's time is shorter and some people's time is longer and things like that. So we don't want to hold anybody up. We want you to be able to make your informed decision and not miss your window that you have. So that's another reason why we do the same day reporting as well.
So I think that this is a great summation of what home inspection is. And I know that if we were in person, you'd have all your tools, which were great.
Yes.
um, but I will say this: is there any piece of advice that he would love to give a buyer right now about home inspections before they even enter into the home buying process? And what do you think is the most important piece of advice you can give to a buyer?
The most important piece of advice that I can give to a buyer, honestly, as far as home inspection is concerned, your home inspection is going to be based on the skill level and expertise of your home inspector. So you always want to make sure you have a qualified, certified home inspector to do your home inspection for the most part. And like I said, for the most part, as long as he's knowledgeable and things like that, then he should uncover tons of stuff, to be quite honest with you. So going into the home inspection, that will be my first step right there, is to research and make sure that my home inspector knows and is knowledgeable about the system components and things of that nature, and also the structure of the house also. Because like I said, that's basically your home inspection right there.
Okay, you heard it straight from Vaughn's mouth. So this was really great. This is very,
Yes.
very helpful, and I hope all of our prospective buyers really understand now how home inspection fits into the home buying process.
Yes.
And of
Yes.
course, and this is obviously recorded, if you have any specific questions, we're going to include Vaughn's contact information.
Yes, please.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they can contact you directly.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Feel free.
If they have any specific questions about home inspection, as you know, we usually get during the in-person ones. So we really want to thank you for your time. Thank you, Vaughn. You've been
Well, thanks for
amazing.
having
Yes.
me.
And again, as I said, Vaughn can talk, can answer questions directly, or you can come to
Yes.
Kristen and I, and we're happy to answer any questions you have. So thank you so much, and we will sign off for now.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.